Hello and welcome, guys. I'm just gonna go very much briefly for this fight card. As you've seen, my results were pretty much on point. 10 out of 13, 2 out of 13 bet, 2 out of 3 bets. For the first fight, Sergey Morozov versus Journey Newson. I got to say I picked Sergey Morozov and the head fight starts round 3, which ended in a decision victory for Sergey Morozov as expected. Then the second pick, I wanted David Dvorak to win so really wanted David Dvorak to win so badly, but David Dvorak was able to pull the plug and Manel Kape dropped him on few occasions. And we've seen a victory on the end of Manel Kape. David Dvorak was trying to run around the circles, and from what I've seen, David Dvorak unfortunately lost. David Dvorak unfortunately lost the fight via decision, and something that I hadn't expected just happened in that fight. But I picked Kape, so I hope to 2-2. Then Brian Battle versus Rinat Fakhretdinov, I had over 1.5. Just side pick was wrong when I had to pick a side, but my initial pick was over 1.5, and you've seen Rinat Fakhretdinov pretty much dominating this match and doing a wonderful job in that fight. So we've seen a great domination in the case of Rinat Fakhretdinov, and Rinat Fakhretdinov really pulled it out in that match. I've really seen great performance on his end, and from what I've seen, I was pretty much pleased with what Rinat Fakhretdinov did, but I'm not a big fan of his, but he did a great job. Then we've seen Rafa Garcia versus Makhachev heading into round 3, but this was my first miss of the evening, as I predicted Makhachev to win because he missed the scale, and I was thinking it was just a marketing trick on the end of Makhachev. I was thinking he was trying to confuse his opponent, which didn't go well for him, as Makhachev even cut his opponent's artery, and his opponent's artery is bleeding, was unable to be stopped. But at the end of the day, it didn't go well, as you've seen Makhachev was pretty much annihilated by Rafa Garcia. Rafa Garcia was teeing him up on the feet, then also dragged him to the canvas and dominated. One of the greatest bloodbaths ever. Then we've seen Said Yakub versus Said Nurmagomedov. Said Yakub Kakramonov was dominating for like 8 minutes, and then we've seen a great guillotine counter of Said Nurmagomedov, who choked him out cold. Picked Said Nurmagomedov to win, so it was 4 out of 5. Pretty much great performance by Said Nurmagomedov. Hence, I've seen Said Yakub winning at one point. Then Jake Matthews versus Matt Samuelsberger. This was my first bet of the night, and I wasn't expecting this to go out that way. And I've seen that going out that way. I was like, what the heck, man? I was like, what the heck happened, really? I didn't expect that was gonna go down that way, as it was pretty much powerful performance by Matthew Samuelsberger. He even rocked Matthews, dropped him on a few occasions, and really performed nicely against his own opponent. And then Corey McKenna versus Cheyenne Velismas. I said fight goes the distance for McKenna to win, and I was 100% right about that. Corey McKenna outworked her, and if you're looking for female Khabib, then you should definitely stick with Corey McKenna, as Corey McKenna is the greatest example of the female Khabib. She was holding Cheyenne Velismas down for nearly 14 minutes, great control. Then in the main card, it kicked off amazingly for me as Mikhail Alexichuk destroyed Cody Brandage. Mikhail Alexichuk stopped him via punches and hammer fists. We've seen a great ground and pound GMP domination on the end of Mikhail Alexichuk. And everybody who thought Brandage was winning, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I lost all the confidence in Cody Brandage when I've seen him like 2 minutes before closing the scale, and I've seen him stepping on the scale. I was like, what the heck, man? What the heck is happening? And I had a reasonable doubt to believe that he was not gonna win that fight. Then we've seen Drew Dober versus Bobby Green. It was another great piece of play. No distance, just as I said. Bobby Green won round 1, but then Drew Dober knocked him out cold with a wonderful violent left hand. And that left hook pretty much sent him to another dimension. Got to say, it was a great piece of play. Then Alex Caceres versus Julian Rosa. I picked Caceres to win. I really picked Caceres to win, which was okay. But I didn't expect Caceres was gonna win so quickly, man. I wasn't expecting such a quick victory on the end of Alex Caceres. as Alex Caceres pretty much destroyed his opponent easily. It was a great piece of domination on the end of Alex Caceres. He feinted with a big left hand and transitioned into a violent left head kick, and that left head kick sent Julian Rossa into the shadow realm. What a great left high kick it was. It was a brutal left high kick. Then I had another bet on Amir Bazi to defeat Alexander Costa, and TKO uppercut round punches happened in the third round. Hence, we were having pretty much even matchup. I scored 1-1 after 2 rounds. I pretty much scored it 1-1, and from what I've seen, I was unsure which way is that going to go. Amir Albazi dropped him in round 2, also dropped him in round 3, but I was very much non-confident. I was having a hard time adjusting to that, and I was pretty much scared about what was going to happen. Then Arman Tsarukyan versus Damiris Magulov. I also had a bet on Arman, but this was easy win for Arman. I was thinking it was going to be a hard night of domination for Arman Tsarukyan, and when I've seen that, I was telling to myself, Vlad, what the heck, Vlad, what was happening? Like, Vlad was having all the time of this world, and Vlad was pretty much scared before the fight, but Arman Tsarukyan pretty much landed 7 or 8 takedowns, and it was a pretty much great takedown domination on the end of Armenian fighter. So it pretty much went ferociously on the end of Arman Tsarukyan. It was a really nice piece of play for Arman Tsarukyan, got to say. Really nice piece of play for Arman Tsarukyan. I was pretty much thrilled with what happened in that fight. And then the next fight, Sean Strickland versus Jared Cannonier, was my third miss of the night. And it was a super close fight. Close fights cannot be robberies. It was one of the most even fights I've ever seen. And I've got to say that Sean Strickland pretty much pulled the plug. Sean Strickland was doing a great job. I had 2-2 heading into round 5, and heading into round 5, I gave slight advantage to Cannonier, but it could have gone to Strickland's side. Strickland made more visible damage, which could have resulted in a victory for Sean Strickland. But I can't say that Sean Strickland was robbed. I really can't say that, because it was a super close fight, and close fights cannot be robberies. Was this a possible robbery? There is a possibility, but I cannot say that Strickland was robbed, because it was a super close fight, very technical warfare. And then I am super happy. It was a fair card. I'm super happy, super thrilled, pretty much super thrilled, because we didn't have Michael Bisping and we didn't have DC. Finally, I had the best duo of commentators, Dominic Cruz, Paul Felder. They are the best duo of commentators, and I'm so glad that we were finally able to watch the best duo of commentators ever here. And I've got to say that this duo of commentators, I just hope you are going to be in the UFC for a long period, guys, for a long period of time. We want you, we love you. Every Bulgarian Cowboy fan loves Dominic Cruz and Paul Felder more than Michael Bisping and DC, and I just hope you two are going to have your jobs for a prolonged period of time. Bisping, DC, they're just sitting and shitting, they're paying ghostwriters, but you don't. You know your job, you know the drill, you are the best guys, and thank you UFC for not putting Bisping and DC into this commentary booth. This was not a phone booth for them. I think you should always, but always, put these two guys in your commentary phone booth. Definitively, these two guys are born to be the greatest stars of UFC commentary. Thank you so much, UFC, for not putting Bisping and DC. Okay, I'm at vacation. I'm extremely tired now. I must go. So catch you later. Catch you some other day.